All right, happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome on into the daily broadcast coming to you from the worldwide headquarters of Raiderland. Whether you're on YouTube, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland on YouTube, whether you are on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media or Facebook, we're glad to have you. You get your comments in on the United Supermarkets chat line, Market Street chat line, whichever you prefer. Let us know the audio is good, the video is good. Let us know where you're checking in from. A lot of things to get to tonight. Man, a huge day yesterday. Tech winning everywhere. Lady Raiders advancing. They're playing Utah tonight, I believe, at the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City. Tech baseball winning. We talked about that last night. And then the Texas Tech men's basketball team rolling over Colorado. And JT Toppin making noise around the country. And all of a sudden, all people, not all people, all people, a lot of people talking about, my gosh, he's going to go pro. What are we going to do? I don't know. Oh, and Texas Tech football and Joey McGuire talking today. They will have a spring game, but the revolution will not be televised. All right, you guys get in on that. It's also over underrated right Thursday. Hamburger toppings. The hamburger toppings that are overrated in your opinion, underrated in your opinion, and then the ones that are rated just right. We get to talk about bacon tonight. I'm going to say it right up front for everybody involved. Bacon on a hamburger, overrated. That's right, overrated. You guys know what to do. Get in early. Let's get it going in 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com, where you start your day every day. Raiderland hot links in the morning. We give you also 60 seconds of Raiderland, our daily commentary. Sports, non-sports, doesn't really matter. Glad you're out there. As we told you earlier, the topics tonight: basketball, baseball, bacon on burgers, toppings, and then anything else. We are brought to you by McAlpin Chiropractic, the official chiropractor in Raiderland. Kevin McAlpin, great West Texan. He's worked with high-level Texas Tech track and field athletes, among others, for decades. Hey, man, you want to feel better? Call Kevin McAlpin. Also by the Shropshire Agency, independent, just like West Texas. Nearly 70 years here in West Texas. I think they're doing something right. Call Jeff, tell him we said hey, and then find out what they can do for your business, for your family, for your church. You know, a ton of different insurance needs. And the Shropshire Agency can take care of that. And then everybody who gets in on the show tonight, just like Craig, leading off on Facebook, the talking box is on. Brought to you by United Supermarkets and Market Street. You know, they got groceries and they support Texas Tech. You need groceries. You want to support Texas Tech. Seems like a good combination, right? Okay, there you go. What more do you want? Where do we want to start tonight? We can start on underrated right Thursday if you want to. It's hamburger toppings, the ones that are rated right, the ones that are underrated, the ones that are overrated. And I say bacon is overrated. Real quick, here's why. It's never cooked right. The bacon you get on a burger, 9 times out of 10, is never cooked right. It's usually overcooked or maybe it's undercooked, but it's almost never cooked right. Therefore, I say the bacon on the burger, overrated. Anytime I see like a bacon cheeseburger or a bacon, green chili cheeseburger or a bacon this or that, I'm like, I'm probably going to leave the bacon off. You'd almost be better off just getting a little bacon bits, throwing it on there. Now, what's underrated on a burger? Queso, 100% underrated. Queso or shredded lettuce, both things to me underrated. Why get the bib lettuce when you can get the shredded lettuce? Rated right, just your slice of cheese, because no burger should be without it, in my opinion. And me and Don Williams fought for this over, nearly 2 decades plus on the Williams and Hyatt show. Hey, what's the point of having a burger if it ain't got no cheese? Now, the queso takes it up, but at least have a slice. Pickles, rated right. Got to have pickles and just one big tomato slice, right? 2 gets in the way. Doesn't work. All right, where do we want to go beyond that? You guys get in on the chat line. Thanks to United Supermarkets. Whether you're with us on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media, on our YouTube channel, please subscribe. It's free, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Same thing, everybody on Facebook, just like Craig getting in tonight, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Texas Tech men's basketball rolling over Colorado, another big performance by JT Toppin. And it's really hard for me for some reason. And I wasn't doing this early in the year, but now I want to say TJ Toppin, TJ Shannon and JT Toppin. Much discussion about him being on All-American list, draft list, all of those things. Good. Hope so. Best advertising you can get for your program is having somebody come in out of New Mexico as a young player and do that. There's still a little bit of work to do, obviously, before some of those things come out. But yeah, just one more, notch on the belt for the Grant McCaslin program right now, that you've got a player coming in who was dinged up early on, kind of a slow rollout when it came to JT Toppin, adding Christian Anderson. And now we're talking about a team that is sitting there on the 3-2 line as opposed to the 4-3 line. But hold on, is that really the case? Once again, ignore Lenardi on ESPN. Anywhere you go, hearing projections that involve Joe Lenardi from ESPN, ignore it. HoopsHD.com, Frankville.wordpress.com. That's it. That's all. That's all you need. Tech's a 3-line team right now. Depending on how you look at some of the numbers, I mean, like barely on the 3 line. The non-conference hurt this team badly. The non-conference schedule hurt it, and hopefully going into next year, they will take a cue from that and go, you could be sitting there just like Houston right now. Houston playing to a 1 line. You could be absolutely looking at a 2 line where, a lot of people have Iowa State, but this non-conference schedule has to get better. So ignore Lenardi, win your next 2 games, and don't worry about anything. You'll probably be a 3 seed. And as we said yesterday, does it really matter the difference between a 2 seed and a 3 seed? It really doesn't. All right. It doesn't matter. The difference is 3 and 4. Obviously, where you're catching the 1 seed, who you're catching as a 1 seed. So throw me some comments tonight. What impressed you last night about Tech? Just really, they controlled the game and did everything you wanted them to do. No letdown. And now they've got Arizona State to close it out on Saturday out there in the desert. Craig is jumping back in. Overrated, rated right, hamburger toppings. Put the jalapeno pimento cheese from Market Street Deli instead of a slice of cheese. All right, that cheese spread right there, legendary. And it'll change your life if you do jalapeno poppers with the jalapeno pimento cheese spread or the smoked Gouda spread. Either one. The smoked Gouda pimento, the jalapeno pimento, either one. I know you're going, why would I want to put jalapeno in a jalapeno? Just shut up and do it. All right? You're going to like it. Lady Raiders won last night. Hold on. Got to put the ring back on. There we go. There we go. We put that on yesterday for them. We're going to wear it tonight for them. I don't wear these very often, hardly ever anymore. But hey, we're gonna do that. We're gonna make it happen. They did make their threes last night, but they still. Let me go back to box score. Yeah. So last night, Texas Tech 16 of 33 on the threes. That's 48%, and that's above, your mean. And you got lucky on that. But you got to the line, 13 of 16. You still got to the line, and that's what you need to do. But that's still too many threes, in my opinion. You don't have to take that many threes. But last night, hey, Kerwin Walton, senior night, out there, 4 of 8, knock it out. Toppin gets his 2, 3 of 4 McMillan. And D. Will goes 2 of 5, and 3 of 7 from Christian Anderson on his 12.9. Don't fall in love with the 3, baby, because it's going to burn you in the NCAA tournament. That's still almost 10 3-pointers more than I want to see Texas Tech taking. His name is Michael. He's on Facebook. He says, greetings. We say greetings back to you. Do you like bacon? Do you? Green chilies on a burger? Things to put on a burger. Mushrooms, the Swiss burger. Yeah, Swiss cheese and the mushroom. How do y'all feel about that on burger toppings? Jacob jumping in. He's on our YouTube channel. That's Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland YouTube. Free. Please, everybody subscribe. We are trying like hell to get over 500. We got to hit this 450 mark, and we're like, you know? Got to get there. Is Tech men's basketball matchup proof? If not, what is bad matchup? And what laundry they're wearing? Agreed with Smoke, Gouda Pimento, purple onion, call it good. Yeah, red onion, purple onion. Oh, I love the red onion now. I'm all about the purple red onion. That's the onion of choice. Why would you do any other onion? If you're sauteing onions, if you're just eating an onion like an apple. Are they matchup proof? No, nobody's matchup proof. So let's say they run into a team that defends out on the 3 really well, and Federico gets into foul trouble. So they're taking away 3. You've lost an inside presence. Nobody's insurance or matchup proof. Now they're better than they were a year ago, running into NC State and Big Boy. Nobody's matchup proof. I think they're matchup even, because we've watched them win games scoring in the 80s. We've watched them win games scoring in the 70s and 60s. So pace, to me, and that may be as much as, okay, you don't have a post player, they got a really good post player, there's your matchup. You can't shoot threes and blah, blah, blah. All right. I get that. The better question might be for this team, pace. And a lot of teams in the NCAA tournament now, pace. Can you play fast? Can you play slow? Are you comfortable in a track meet, or are you comfortable in a grinded out, we're going to have a rock fight? We've seen Tech win rock fights and track meets this year. That gives me a good indication that in the NCAA tournament, the pace may not matter that much. And really, if you're a team, which pace do you want to dictate? And I'd flip it around, not on you, Jacob. I'd flip it around on the other team and say, really, what do you want them to play at? So it comes down to that team and what are they comfortable? What can they do? And can you make them uncomfortable? Tech may be the matchup problem. Tech may be the pace problem that Grant McCaslin looks around and says, "Oh, you want to play in a 62-58 game? Let's go play a 82-78 game. We can do it." Mustard is made from mustard seed. Grilled jalapenos on a burger, underrated. Got that little blacken to it, that little, I call it a little scar to it, a little score to it, a little blackened jalapeno. Mm-hmm. I can get down with that. We're good. Alan jumping in on our YouTube channel. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland on YouTube. Don't cost nothing to subscribe, whether you watch us there or not. I mean, we've got so many people on Facebook and so many people on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. If like half of y'all would just go over there and subscribe, you don't have to watch it, do anything else. We're over 500, and then the algorithm goes crazy. Colorado is a great warm-up to play a 14 seed. And that's kind of funny, but it's really true that's the level that the Big 12 and the SEC teams, for the most part, and to a lesser extent, the Big 10, and certainly on down the road, ACC, that you've been playing first and second round games every night for the last month. You've played Sweet 16, Elite 8 games about 4 times during conference play. Jan, or is it Jan? No, it's Jan. I'm just kidding. Sauerkraut and onions stir-fried on the burger. Okay. You have my attention. I'm talking about overrated, underrated, and rated right burger toppings. I love sauerkraut. I love a Reuben sandwich. The greatest sandwich in the history of the world is a Reuben sandwich. Sauerkraut and onions stir fried on the burger. Threes will pull the defense out, and you get to the paint. Yesterday was nice. Baseball wins, then a basketball win. I was tired last night when I finally got home. It was a good tired. Sauerkraut, I don't know that I've ever had a burger with sauerkraut. And I ain't opposed to it, and it sounds really good. Overrated, underrated, rated right burger toppings. Craig going freshly roasted hatch green chilies. Yeah, I'm good with the green chilies on a cheeseburger. Got to be a cheeseburger, right? Has anybody ever had a burger with green chilies and no cheese? What would be the point? Grilled onions and mushrooms with Gouda cheese, perfection. So the Gouda, are we talking like a sliced Gouda? It's a slow melt, little bit, because it doesn't melt all the way. So it's a little slow melt, just kind of does that thing. Then the onion and the mushrooms. Not opposed to mushrooms. I like mushrooms. Mark on our Facebook page for Ryan Ads Raiderland talking about, is this overrated, underrated, or rated right? You got to stay with the program here. You got to give me what's overrated, what's underrated, what's rated right. But bacon, green chilies, and green grilled onions. Bacon overrated on burgers. Never cooked right, never good. Nobody does it right. Bacon is overrated on a burger. You're wasting money and you're wasting time when you get bacon on a burger. Trust me on this. You know it's true. Think about how many times you've gotten a bacon cheeseburger or whatever, and it's cooked crappy, and it's no good, and like half of it falls off. You never got anything. I'm telling you, you're better off carry a thing of, that little canister of Bako bits. Put it on there if you want that. Sliced Gouda on top of the grilled toppings. Okay. Of the grilled toppings. So toppings on the meat, the Gouda coming down on that. And Mark saying that was underrated. Underrated on the bacon grilled chili and grilled onions. Them old purple onions, red onions are the best. We still have plenty of time to talk about Tech basketball. The emerging superstar that is JT Toppin. A lot of talk around here, people saying, NBA draft, we got to watch out. He might go. He might go. Oh, he does, for his sake. Hope he doesn't for Tech's sake. My friend Rob Bro today on the Tech station, 97.3, had a great analysis of putting together a roster in the modern age and how you need guys like a JT Toppin that they're so good they're going to go, but you might be able to hold on to them. And I'm not going to do it justice, but it was really good stuff by Rob. He gets it. He understands it. Texas Tech football today, media availability, Joey McGuire and all the other stuff, whatever. But Joey McGuire saying, yeah, spring game, yes. Love the spring game. We're going to have a spring game if we're healthy, but it's not going to be televised. And so everybody come to Lubbock if you want to see the spring game. To which I say, knock it out. Now, I don't care if they play a spring game or not anymore. I'm over that. Spring game don't matter to me. If you're comfortable putting your players out there and doing something, do it. I really don't care. But I love the fact they're not going to televise it. Because as somebody, and I don't know, I can't give credit to either the program coach or whoever, when they were canceling their spring game saying, why should I put all of my best talent on display for other people to go shopping for in the transfer portal? Why should I put people out there and go, yeah, check it out. Watch this. Yeah, my, backup right tackle, my second string wide receiver, my second string defensive back. Hey, look at that guy. He looks good. Why don't y'all come in and get him? I totally get it. Totally get it. So if you're going to have a spring game, which I would not do if I were a head coach, I'm one of the coaches who's not doing a spring game anymore. In fact, I would get rid of spring football entirely, and I would move to an OTA type thing like the NFL, and I'd have an extra week and a half of practices in July and August. But that's just me. because I'm playing pro football while other people are playing college football, and college football doesn't exist anymore. But yes, do not televise it. Good stuff. Tomatoes overrated. One tomato. I want one big ass tomato slice. And I think that's rated right. Not overrated, not underrated, but rated right is one big tomato underneath the patty, and we go from there. Mayo. Why would anybody put mayo on a burger? There's only one hamburger I've ever had that ever tasted halfway decent with mayonnaise, and that's Wendy's burger. And I don't know why. And maybe it's because, growing up, Wendy's burgers came with mayonnaise, and even if you ask for mustard, they'd screw it up, and you get mayonnaise, and that's what I thought it tasted like. And I like Wendy's burgers; they're good. Craig, overrated Thousand Island dressing on a burger? I mean, now you're talking that special sauce at McDonald's. That's like Big Mac sauce, right? There's burger sauce that some people like, but Thousand Island dressing, we're pretty much going. He's taking down McDonald's on that. He's taking down the Big Mac, isn't he? Hey, Jan, the Honeycomb Pie Shop, 3833 50th, has the best ever in Lubbock or anywhere Reuben sandwich, sauerkraut, onion, underrated, understated. And I think I know it, the owner at the Honeycomb. I think her name is Jennifer, if I know that to be true. And I need to go in there and have one of them sandwiches. Ain't nothing. Reuben sandwich, greatest sandwich of all time. Mark, JT Toppin needs one more year at Tech with Anderson. Why does he need one more year at Tech? I'm not arguing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm asking you, you make the statement, then you tell me why he needs one more year at Texas Tech. All right? Tell me why. Applewood smoked bacon that's cooked just before it gets crispy with spicy mustard. Perfection. Got to be the spicy mustard. Maybe Tech officials are starting to understand Texas Tech is located in Lubbock. We have had these discussions over the last several years where they would move spring games and different things around and Metroplex and everything else. Yeah, hey, how about that? How about that? Play the spring game in Lubbock. Where do you play football games? In Lubbock. Where do you want recruits to go? In Lubbock. Where do you want fans to go? In Lubbock. Where do you want people to spend money? In Lubbock. Where do you want to see the facilities that you have spent all of this money? Doesn't it stand to be just absolutely stupid that you would spend $250 million on Jones Stadium and then say, hey, how about we play the spring game at the Star in Jerry World in Dallas? Yeah, but the 30,000ers in Addison can come up and have a good time. Chris, you nailed it right there. Texas Tech is in Lubbock. Everything Texas Tech does of a major deal should be in Lubbock. Not in Dallas, not in San Antonio, not even in Midland. Not even in Midland, in Amarillo. A little bit here and there, but nothing major. Mark jumps back in talking about Toppin. Needs to build his body strength and be ready for the NBA. All right. Two different tracks here. One, if they're going to draft you first round and give you more money than you can make here at Tech, you go regardless of your body strength. Two, I agree implicitly 100% that most players would be better served by hanging around college in a good college program, strength and conditioning, get better, develop more skills and everything else, and then go a year later or whatever. But the reality is the NBA drafts you when they want you, and when they want you, you go. It's such a very finite scale of who gets called by the NBA these days. We're not talking about 5 and 6 round drafts anymore. We're talking 2. Where if a player gets drafted in the first round, you go. You go. You do it. Now, I agree that players, and I'll tell you this, Mark, the NBA would be better served because it was a better product when players were coming out of college after 3 and 4 years back in the 70s, 80s, and into the 90s. It was a better product. Look at the team. Go back and watch the 30 for 30 on North Carolina State and Jim Valvano. Survive and Advance. It's a 2-hour deal. It's incredible. My point on this, though, is the players that were in college basketball in 83 and 82 had been there for years. They were known commodities going into the NBA first, easier to market, and they were better players than anything coming out of college basketball today. Not even close. The players coming out of college basketball in the early 90s, 10 times better than what comes out now. Of course, we have the influx of international players and the influx of players coming in from club and all that. I get that. I understand it. But Mark nails it. He's right. But the NBA just doesn't care anymore. Sadly, they hurt their own product by drafting players the way they draft. Jacob is on our YouTube channel. Everybody should be on our YouTube channel. Right now, it's Raiderland. Would Hyatt peek right now into the future for a glimpse at basketball making second weekend football champ game participant, or are you in for the journey? Basketball should play on the second weekend. If you're a 3 seed, if you're a 4 seed, you should play in the second weekend. This team should play on the second weekend in the NCAA tournament. In my opinion, if they don't, I'd be disappointed. It's not a failure. Nobody should be fired. But this team, the way it's finishing up, the way it's playing, I believe should be a second weekend team in the NCAA tournament. Football champ game, who cares? Who knows right now? Impossible to say. 100%. Alan says, JT Toppin, going to be Big 12 Player of the Year, first team All-American. Tech makes a run to the Elite Eight. Toppin becomes a borderline lotto pick. Remember, he said that, folks. Toppin's body type fits about 20 NBA rosters. They draft on skill and position need. Almost all need a forward like JT. And Allen is a much more astute observer of the association than I am. I freely give it up to him. He should be our NBA analyst here in Raiderland. Trust me on this. He has been for 20 years, really. 20? 15. I'll give you 15. Not trying to make you older than you are. I would say the only thing right now, maybe body type, just seems a little undersized, even for what little I pay attention to the NBA. But really, you grow, you get older, you get bigger, right? I mean, he's not gonna go to the NBA and look like he looks today 2 years from now, which is why the NBA draft is a futures draft, 100% a futures draft. Robert chiming in. How do you feel about your favorite bracketologist, Joe Lenardi, saying that Tech would get a 2 seed? He's wrong. Tech's not on the 2 line right now. They're on the 3 line, barely. And anybody who follows Joe Lenardi is horrible at his job, but he's great at pumping and gunning what ESPN wants him to do. Anybody who pays attention to Joe Lenardi on the bracketology, you're just wrong. I mean, you're not wrong. He's wrong. He's horrible at it. He's horrible at his job, but he does what ESPN wants him to do, which is promote the product. Tech's a 3 seed right now. At best, Tech's a 3 seed. Okay? Provolone? Why not probe it with somebody else? Why do you have to probe alone? You could probe it with somebody else. Provolone is a great cheese on a sandwich. Provolone on a burger does nothing for me. Are you saying it's over, under, or rated right on the conversation there? All right, a couple of seconds left before we get out of here. Tomorrow on the show, we're going to have a fun story, by the way, from real things that happened to me today. Just don't feel like getting into it tonight. All right, but yeah, tomorrow, sure. When Hoops HD says Tech is a 2 seed, then take it to the bank. Joe suffers from recency bias. Not even recency bias. He's just not good at his job. All right. He would have like 18 teams on the 2 line. But again, he does what ESPN wants him to do, as opposed to hoopshd.com, brackethill.wordpress.com with Dave Almond. And those guys, all they care about is getting it right every year. And they do. Nobody does it better than those two. Go back over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Look at the bracket matrix. Alan, you can probably do a post on that. You're so much better at numbers and things like that than I am. You could probably do a ranking on where Hoops HD and Bracketville are, and put that on Twitter or something than I can do. But damn it, they're good. And Joe Lenardi's not. Okay, he just ain't. We had a lot of fun tonight. More baseball tomorrow. Late start, no diamond talk Friday. Saturday, we reserved the right on Saturday for a little diamond talk. Basketball, obviously, Saturday. Sunday is going to be a huge day to maybe recap everything. So we're going into the weekend. We're going into Friday. Tomorrow on the website, theraiderland.com. Most Texan thing you have done in light of today being the Battle of the Alamo. I would like to think you guys would really get in there and knock something out tomorrow and tell us the most Texan thing you have done. We'll have all the great Raiderland hot links as well. Oh, yeah. Hopefully everybody saw this on Twitter earlier today. Numbers game devoted to baseball. 51-21 record for Tech's past opponents this year. And people are going, well, I don't know what that means. That means that's really, really good. When the first RPI comes out here in about a week and a half from D1Baseball.com, football guys are going to be shocked where Tech baseball is. They truly are. All right, so all of a sudden now I need some smoked Gouda cheese, some green chilies, some red onions, mushrooms. You know what I'm probably going to have tonight? I ain't lying. I think probably tonight, maybe like Totino's pizza rolls. I've got multiple bags of Totino's pizza rolls. One buffalo chicken flavored, hot buffalo chicken flavored, one regular. I think I can mix it all together. I got some blue cheese ready to go. It may be maybe a buffalo regular Totino pizza roll in the air fryer. By the way, if you guys hadn't gone to the air fryer, come on now. What are you doing? What's wrong with you? All right, one more. JT will get drafted top 30 or 40-ish. Maybe. I think it's probably right now. If Tech gets and holds 4, gets to the 3, they rated right. 2 will take, 5 is criminal. I think Tech's a 3. All things going in right now. 33-17 combined record for the next 4 baseball opponents. Got to make some hay while the sun shines. Got to get some wins over the next 2-3 weeks going into April for Tech baseball. You guys are the best. We appreciate it. We ask you to do a couple of things. Everybody subscribe to the YouTube channel, share it, hit like, grow the algorithm there. We're so close. When we get to 500, it's going to explode. It's incredible. If you're not on our Twitter page or or X, it's at Ryan Hyatt Media, free. Got 7,000 or whatever over there, and then another 2,000 or so on Facebook. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Like them all, they're all free. Grow it, share it. We'll put this up on our website, theraiderland.com, here in a little bit. If you want to share it from there, that's wonderful. Fine. Ain't nothing wrong with growing the numbers on there. I want to thank our fine sponsors like United Supermarkets and Market Street, McAlpin Chiropractic, the Shropshire Agency in Lubbock. Nothing happens without them. When you see them on social media, Facebook or otherwise, thank them for being a part of it. You can go over there to their web pages, McAlpin Chiropractic, Shropshire Agency on Facebook, and just hit them and say, hey, thanks. And that goes a million miles to let them know that you guys know they're supporting, they're out here and doing what we can. All right. Got to hit this button here. Got to hit this button here. True stories tomorrow on what happened to my truck today.